Hi everyone, welcome back to Daily Freddo. If you struggle with being on time, pay attention. You could suffer from time blindness, or at least that's what one young TikToker claims to be true. It's not a secret that Gen Zs have been leaders in the invention of several new disorders or faking the existing ones. But that's the one I want to focus on today, time blindness. Apparently a real disorder, but misused and misunderstood by the young users of TikTok. Because where else could ridiculous thing like that spread, if not there? So, let's dive in. Here is a viral TikTok of a girl that describes what happened to her at a job interview when she asked if there were any accommodations available for a time-blind person. Take a look.
So I just got yelled at for asking a very reasonable question. So I'm applying to go somewhere, and I just wanted to know, are there accommodations for people who struggle with time blindness and being on time, And then the person I was with interrupted and acted like I was asking something else, and then when we were done, they actually started yelling at me and saying that accommodations for time blindness doesn't exist, and if you struggle with being on time, you'll never be able to get a job. Provided you're trying your absolute best to be there. And then they're like, your stupid generation wants to destroy the workplace. And yeah, I think that a culture where workers are just cut off because they struggle with being on time, when there's other solutions that we can look to, I think that just anybody who thinks it's okay to just treat people like that, yeah, that culture needs to be dismantled. And then I asked that person, how can you feel good about yourself upholding this kind of system? And then to think I'm entitled. No, if people think it's okay to treat others like this, that's entitlement.
The title of this video is Workers' Rights, by the way. Before we get into this properly, here is what I found about this crippling disorder. Time blindness refers to the inability to recognize when time has passed or to estimate how long something will take. Dr. Manus says time blindness isn't a diagnosis or a specific symptom. It's more just a general way of talking about the phenomenon of losing track of time.
So now watch.
Oh my God, wait.
No, watch. Okay.
Wow.
So an example, if your boss at work asks you how much time you need to complete a certain task, you wouldn't be able to estimate correctly. Or you could simply be doing something and not realize that it's been already, 6 hours, because you don't realize how much time has passed. It does not mean that you have a right to be late and you can never be anywhere on time because you have a condition. You still have an alarm clock, you can still do stuff in timely manner, you are not disabled in any shape or form. And if she got yelled at, then she was unlucky. Really, because if it was me interviewing her, I would truly assume she was trolling me. She shouldn't have gotten yelled at. I'm against adults yelling at each other. It's just unnecessary. But it is definitely missed opportunity for the funniest conversation ever. We all knew that the comments on this one would be entertaining, so let's read some. I'll accept time blindness if you agree to accept payroll blindness. It only seems fair. It's very fair. Another one, yeah, adulting can be hard. Adulting is hard, guys, even for us millennials. Another one, other solutions to look to, aka setting alarms. Yep.
Wake up! Wake up! Brush and put a little makeup!
And one more, no, this would mess up the break rotations, affect positions where lives depend on the worker. If this is normalized, it will become normal to be late. So there are quite a lot of articles covering this story. It made international news. A lot of the articles were actually defending the girl and explaining that time blindness is a real disorder that can often be observed in individuals with ADHD. This article says, time blindness is a difficulty with the perception of time, how much time is passed, how much time it's going to take to do something, and it can be quite impairing to people, says Stephanie Sarkis, a psychotherapist and author specializing in ADHD, anxiety and narcissistic abuse. It is a real thing that's been researched. Of course, because why wouldn't the medical field jump on an opportunity to affirm yet another ridiculous disorder? How could that possibly benefit them?
Show me the money!
The article continues. Though it's most commonly observed in people with ADHD, Sarkis says time blindness can manifest in anyone with impairment in executive functions stemming from the frontal lobe area of the brain, which is responsible for personality, judgment, self-control, and more. Guys, I am a compassionate person, and when someone has real struggles that negatively impact their lives, I'm their first one to try and help out. But this is reaching. If you struggle with being on time, get an alarm, a planner, get your spouse or your mom, your friend to text you reminders. There is a way to get your shit together.
Get it all together and put it in a backpack. All your shit, so it's together. Get your shit together.
Imagine if you're a surgeon, a nurse, where the lives of people depend on you showing up on time. Would you ask your patients or the rest of the hospital staff to just accept the fact that you're late? That you're time blind? Wait, Come to think of it, I think all the bus drivers in Cyprus suffer from this. This is what's wrong with this generation, and I know I sound super old when I say that. Victim mentality and expecting that the rest of the world will bend over backwards and change in order to resolve the issues of one person. I was raised in a time where you actually had to push through. If you felt like you had a weakness or lacked something, you worked on it. You didn't expect anyone to just go along with it and jeopardize their own business, peace of mind, money or health to accommodate your minor whatevers, okay? I personally know a guy who used to suffer from stutter very badly. Instead of expecting people to feel sorry for him and make things easier for him, he pushed himself. And while in university, he made sure to continuously do presentations, public speaking events, generally speak in front of people. And guess what? He got over his stutter and is an incredible successful founder and CEO of his own business today. Anyway, the girl in the video posted a follow-up on her TikTok, so let's have a look.
When people ask me, how does it feel being the time blindness girl and have everybody bashing you constantly on Twitter and Instagram? And all I could say is it's a testament of what the United States has become. And we hear about algorithms, political radicalization, and how the internet is influencing humans, and we think, oh, okay. But then when it happens to you, you see how big of a problem it is. Because when we can no longer have a civil discussion about a video with very little context, it makes you wonder, is there even a future for our nation, and what future is there to fight for? Because arousing mass amounts of hate, judging people, making mass assumptions, and being stuck in a cognitive loop without even knowing it, and then doing exactly what the algorithms want is seen as normal. But you know what? It doesn't have to be.
Here are some comments. I have ADHD and bipolar. I suffer with time blindness, but it's not a job's fault. Time moves the same. We just have to put extra effort to be on time. And another one, because of your time blindness, do you stay after work? Does it take you longer to get out of work? That's a good question. I want to know. And another one, I have trouble with timing, so I make sure I'm always ridiculously early. I'd rather inconvenience myself than everyone else. And that's the way to think about it. Simple. Look, I genuinely think she's a nice person, but her video opened up a very important conversation and one that we all need to pay attention to. Because we have kids, they grow up in these insane times. And they are learning on social media that being late means you suffer from the time blindness. If you had a bad day, you have depression. If you're nervous before an exam, you suffer from anxiety. If you can't focus on your homework, you have ADHD. If you're moody one day, you're bipolar. We should blame social media, especially TikTok, for it. There are actual so-called Sickfluencers who monetize their real or fake illnesses while having a huge impact on how young people think of mental illness. National Post wrote, a study of TikTokers who report having a mental illness found that 64% of those in the study group were selling merchandise or seeking paid speaking appearances, suggesting some may be seeking personal benefit from their illness in keeping with a malingering factitious disorder. People have different personalities, but now they are not accepted as such. They are labeled with disorders and made-up genders. It's so easy for a younger mind to get caught in it and then be shocked when the real world doesn't respond as expected. But as always, I want to know what you guys think. So please let me know in the comments. Check out some of my other videos right here, and of course subscribe to my channel, turn on the notifications to never miss a new Daily Freddo episode. That's all for today. Have a good one.
Also, the strength of a gravitational field will have the same effect on you. The stronger the gravitational field is, the slower time ticks for you.